Test, test.
So this one, we're just waiting for John Mackey, who's presenting on the next course. So just give us a few more minutes and get started. So it's
Test. Test, test. 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 Feels good. Test, test. Test, test.
And right back this way. Yeah. Oh, it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today. Welcome to Pitch Tank, FreedomFest. We've had many pitch tanks over the past. This is kind of a new one we're doing this year. We're planning on continuing this in many years in the future. I want to start off with a quote from George Carlin. He said that most people work just hard enough not to get fired and get paid just enough money not to quit. So that's what we're all doing entrepreneurs, right? Let's do our own thing. So I want to welcome you again to FreedomFest Pitch Tank. My name is Paul Moody. I've been the moderator and kind of organized all this Pitch Tank this year. So we have 11 contestants that competed to come here today to this final presentation. We all were great competitors, some of them here too. We were really proud of all of them. So the final three competitors that we presented today, I'm going to announce them. The order to go was done randomly. So this is no particular order, except that this is the order we're going to go. We spot social fitness with Adam and Abby, Sergeant Matrix with David Craig, and middle school MBA with John Foster. So they're the top three competitors in the group of 11. They're going to be competing for prizes today. The first prize is $15,000. The second prize is $6,250. And the third prize is $3,750. I want to especially welcome and thank our judges today for being here with us. Rob Arnott, Bert Moreland, Steve Forbes, Lee Maurer, and John Mackey. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Also, I recognize the judges from the past couple of days. We have Jim Woods over here, Jen runs the UCI computer program, she's also been our tech expert here at FreedomFest. Much appreciated. Who else do we have? We had Jay Dodd. That was anyone? That was it. So again, thank you to those folks for the hard work to get everyone here today. At the conclusion of this competition today, Jay and I are going to be compiling the results. And so if you want an early release of the results, Brian's already accepted it. So no, just kidding. We will announce that tomorrow on the big stage. And I think it starts at 1 o'clock tomorrow. President kind of closes in place. So we will get to contestants who you are. All 3 contestants will be on the stage. So we'll announce the order, and all 3 of you will get some prize. So again, that's for the contestants. You can make sure that you're there by about 12:30, same place we met there. All right. Well, I think that's it for announcements.
Yeah, so contestants and judges, I'll be timing for your presentation. Each team will have 10 minutes of presentation and 2 minutes Q&A. I will give you a 2-minute warning, a 1-minute warning, and at 10 minutes or at 2 minutes after Q&A, I will let you know when that is, and I will stop the team. So I will give you guys clues and whatnot, so let me know if you have any questions.
And one final important point is each one of the contestants today has 10 minutes to present. They had 8 minutes in the first round. Today we have 10 minutes to present with 2 minutes of Q&A from judges, not from the audience. We don't have time for that. Right, contestants, we have to sit around and talk to you if you want have any questions for them afterwards. So with that, let's get started with Adam.
Yeah, I'm ready. When are you?
Yeah, can you guys hear me okay? Is that loud? Look. Awesome. Let's go. Hey everyone, thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to present my idea to you guys. My company, it's called Spot. I'm Adam Benetti, CEO of Spot. And at Spot, we're building the active lifestyle generator to help people get active by finding places to go, things to do, and people to meet across 30 different sports and activities. So show of hands, how many people in here have a social media account, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn? There's a lot of you, right? But how many of you guys actually have used your social media account to connect with somebody to go do something fun or an activity, like running, kayaking, a pickleball game? There's not that many hands. Americans have thousands and thousands of friends on social media, yet they don't have real close friends. And that's especially higher amongst young adults. People need an easy way to get active. Social disconnection and physical inactivity go hand in hand. So I want you to meet Teresa. Like most Americans, she wants to get active and meet new people, but she doesn't know where to start. Her interests are running, soccer, and kayaking. She just moved to town, and she only has one close friend in her area. Now, when she goes into the app store or the marketplace to find other solutions to go do these different activities she's interested in, the marketplace is very fragmented and siloed. There is Facebook events and Meetup that people are using, but those solutions are not built for fitness and the healthy lifestyle. One of my co-founders actually tried using Google Maps to find a place to go kayaking, and it took him to a retention pond behind Walmart. So these are very common issues. As well, there are a lot of solutions, but they only focus on 1 or 2 different sports and activities. And most people will do 5 different sports and activities, so nobody wants to download 5 different apps or 5 different platforms to go out and get active. And for Teresa's example, she would need to download multiple different solutions to complete her complete user journey and to serve her full needs for all the interests. And that's really why we built Spot. Spot is that one-stop shop solution, helping people find places to go, things to do, and people to meet across 30 different fitness activities and interests. Spot helps Teresa discover locations near her, like soccer fields, or a kayaking place, or a place to go running. It helps her plan different activities, like if she's interested in going for a marathon, she can do that on Spot. And then coordinating with other people that are on her skill level. And that really is our secret sauce. That is the active lifestyle generator. Using AI to become your activity coordinator. Now I know people are hearing a lot of this buzzword AI, but we are a true AI company. We've been working on this since 2021. And we built this chat interface where you can communicate with it and ask, what are you looking to do? Are you looking to be active? Are you looking to be competitive? Or social? Are you looking to meet new people? Are you looking to meet people you already met with on the app? And then it'll make personalized suggestions based around the interests and the time, and it'll put it on your calendar and then coordinate with you and give you push notes, and then also incentivizing you when you go to different businesses. They can give you the coupons and rewards to make sure you follow through. Getting active needs to be as easy and simple, like ordering an Uber or ordering DoorDash. And that's just what we're doing there. We are an AI recommendation system, just like Netflix, just like Instagram, but those companies focus on time in app and have people scrolling all the time. Our focus is more about optimizing the frequency of activities. And that's something that users and businesses want. And we're building that healthy cycle of discovery, getting people to continuously find different things to do. Now, I know this is a very ambitious vision, but we have the team to build it, right? And just like that, Teresa found a group of people to go out and get active with. But our team collectively has over 10 exits on our belt. We built habit-forming apps, and we built and worked with companies like Fox, Comcast, and Google. Myself, I started my first company and sold it at the age of 24. My co-founder, Yoni, has built habit-forming apps for companies like Fox, Comcast, Televisa. Our CFO, Donna, has worked with Deloitte and Disney for 30 years in finance. And Nir was part of an exit that sold his marketing product to Altria. But I'm not going to dive into my team, but just know we are a team of ninjas and experts that all have expertise in different areas to execute on our plan. Because we have an amazing team, we pulled in some amazing advisors and investors like Jeff Hoffman, who is the godfather of the two-sided network. He's the former CEO and founder of Priceline.com. We have branding experts on our team from Men's Health, who's Bill Stump, the former senior vice president of branding for Men's Health, or Chris Herchik, the former creative director of Sports Illustrated. And we have a lot of advisors that come to us from ROAI Institute, which is leading the AI side of our app. And with Professor Kostakis, who is a pretty well-known name, he's a professor at Yale, a lot of his research went into what we built with Spot. He is a world researcher and runs the Human Nature Lab at Yale. Now, let's talk about the other side of our network, which is the business side. Those sports, fitness, and wellness businesses need an easy way to acquire customers, retain those customers, and tie their marketing dollars to revenue coming into their gym or their yoga studio or their different fitness location. Well, we built just that with this round. With our lead gen commission model, we only get paid once one of our users walks into their door and converts and becomes a customer. Next, we're building our marketplace transactions. So let's say Teresa is interested in looking to go kayaking, but she doesn't own a kayak. She can rent that right in our app, and we'll take a 25% commission charge from the facilitator. And finally, our premium subscriptions, those are the users that are really interested in people that are yoga instructors or trainers or the coaches that really want to be able to have their own events and activities and to promote the things that they do, and they can do that in our app for a premium subscription. Now I want to dive into one of our customers out of the 160 we closed so far as a startup, Victory Martial Arts. Victory Martial Arts pays us $62 every time one of our users that are interested in martial arts walks in their door. And they give those users 75% off the first month, and they give them a free uniform. And just this brand alone has 14 locations across our launch area. That represents over $100,000 in ARR for the first year. Since we've launched, we've seen some amazing results. Retention is really a pain point in the fitness app marketplace. We've just launched, and we're already seeing 6 times the industry retention rate. Users are coming in and they're selecting at least 6 different activities. And it further proves people don't want to download 6 different apps and platforms to go out and do what they love. We have a 4.9 star rating on the App Store and the Google Play Store, and we have over 160 signed businesses and paying customers like Anytime Fitness, Mayweather Boxing, and Urban Air. And today, we have over 3,000 locations in our launch area. Our focus right now is to close out our funding tranche and put money into the ad commission model, where we are focusing on these 8 accounts. This will get us to a point where we're cash flow positive by the end of the year, and then we can really align ourselves with the VC network we've been talking to really focus on growing on those 160 businesses. And we already started that with martial arts, Orange Theory, Anytime Fitness, and these brands here. To date, we raised $640,000 as a startup, and we are closing this next round before we go to the next tranche, which will really be where we're getting cash flow positive and start generating $50,000 of recurring revenue. We're pulling inspiration from other B2B2C leaders that are out there, like the Pricelines, like the Airbnbs, like the DoorDash. Because if you look at the fitness marketplace in the app stores, it's very fragmented and it's very siloed, and there's not a clear winner. And we believe we're in the right place at the right time. And speaking of fitness app market, I mean, it's huge, it's booming, and it's been growing since COVID. Last year was 7 billion, expecting to be 30 billion by 2030. We are in the right place for that. So in closing, really, we are redefining community engagement based on our user engagement, the actual ratings, and the businesses that are having clients so far. We secured an investment with Star Studio, which graduated from. We got selected as a top star to one of the business journals, and we were selected as the best experience award from Synapse, which is a tech conference out in Tampa, Florida. To date, all the money we're raising is going into the ad campaigns that we're executing on these 8 accounts. And really, our ask is, aside from always trying to raise money, I would direct my ask, and normally don't do this to the amazing panel of judges that we have in front of us. And I would say I would love to just set up 30 minutes to pick your guys' brains. I feel like across each one of you guys, with the expertise that you guys have in starting a business, whether it's from building company culture or branding with sports athletes, or, Mr. Forbes, you're a numbers guy. Thank you. And so that's pretty much my ask. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
How do users and vendors find out?
Yeah, so we've launched an initial B2C campaign. I can go to that slide. That's a great question. We just launched this in the beginning of 2023. And normally in the fitness app industry, it's a $5.28 CAC, cost per acquisition. You're seeing our cost per acquisition at around $2. And there's 4 main ways we just launched with that, but we've really not put a lot of money into that funnel yet, because we wanted to make sure we could bring that cost down. One way is obviously Google search, Apple Storage, where we're getting our users below 275. Influencer marketing, working with other brands and agencies that work with sports influencers. They get paid $1.50 every time they bring a user onto our platform. And these businesses also love to have our sticker in their window that says rate us on Spot. So when a user walks in, they can give them a 5-star review. We're getting a user out of it, and we give that business an ad credit. So it's an ad credit to use for future use. And that's how we launched, but we have other partnerships with SportsThread Network, who can market us on MajorLeagueBaseball.com, ESPN.com, different platforms like that.
So, actually, a couple of quick questions.
Yeah.
How many markets are you currently in?
We're just in Florida right now, because when it comes to
All of Florida, or just?
oh yeah, we're in about 30 counties in Florida out of 67.
Okay. And I didn't maybe said this, but I missed it. Do people match also by age?
You can do that. Yeah, you can ask by age.
Except for influencers now?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so great presentation, Adam. Very quick question. There are a lot of big social platforms out there. Do you have anything that's kind of, we mentioned secret sauce? What is kind of the secret sauce? Is there anything proprietary? Is there anything that can prevent big operations coming in and squeezing you out?
Yeah, so really it's about about bringing the AI to maturity, right? And that takes time, but what we're building on the back end, collecting the data from people, and using that to kind of further along. I mean, two members of our founding team have built habit-forming apps, and it's a really strong tool, but instead of building apps to get people hooked on their phone, they're using that technology to get people to do something that's of benefit for society, right? Getting people to start using more activities and getting out and about. So it's really an algorithm thing and building on getting people engaged by showing them different offers and incentives and then matching them up with people. Because some of the research shows, or what Professor Christakis shows, you're 4 times more likely to continue doing a fitness activity if it's with a friend, and you're 7 times more likely to do a physical activity with a romantic partner. So it's about matching people up with finding those people to continue doing those activities.
And thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Next up is David Craig with Start Patriots.
I'm ready. Sure.
Judges.
Thank you. Every day, you and I will tear and repair muscle fibers throughout our body, a process called muscle homeostasis. I'm David Craig, CEO of Soundbites, and our objective is to extend lives with a better quality of life by maintaining muscle health. And in the next few minutes, I'll introduce you to our breakthrough technology, our solid and scalable business model, the team that's going to execute, and how we're different from our customers. The problem is known as muscle wasting, and there's 3 primary forms. If it's caused by a genetic defect, it's known as muscular dystrophy. Now, these children will live most of their lives in wheelchairs with ventilation support, and it's not uncommon when they pass away in the early 30s by respiratory or cardiac death. Second cause is acquired secondary to chronic disease or drug therapy. In fact, this is called cachexia. We know that 75% of patients, chemo patients that receive chemotherapy will experience significant muscle wasting, and that has a negative impact on their outcome. And then finally, as we age into our 70s and beyond, sarcopenia is the natural process of muscle wasting due to aging. And one of the primary causes of balance loss is muscle loss, and this can lead to falls and hospitalizations. What all of these have in common are shorter lifespans, shorter health spans, and it costs the medical industry billions of dollars a year. Our solution is to modify and balance the natural muscle homeostasis system. After 2 decades of research, our researchers from the University of Illinois and University of Nevada identified the gene that regulates a really important protein. It's called alpha-7 beta-1 integrin. It's expressed on the outside of a muscle fiber when the muscle fiber is stretched and the fiber is torn. In fact, when healthy, if you and I were to go exercise, for 2 or 3 days after exercise, alpha-7 beta-1 integrin expression increases 200 to 300%. Or in elite athletes like our Olympic athletes, it increases up to 500%. So we have a robust portfolio, a scaffold, and thousands of compounds with leads that we're testing that modify the gene ITGA7 that upregulates transcription of alpha-7 beta-1 integrin
regardless of exercise. And where we think this is going to be really helpful is in diseases like muscular dystrophy, where you have limited movement, or let's be honest, if we age, we slow down a little bit, or cachexia. All three of these markets are large today, and they're growing with CAGRs greater than 10%. Our strategy is to build an independent, the next great biotech company, focused on the muscular dystrophy market. The reason being, it's very concentrated and accessible. There are 450 doctors at 90 clinics that treat 25,000 patients. And Duchenne muscular dystrophy is what we think about all the time. That represents only 25% of all muscular dystrophies. And that market alone is at $3 billion today and is projected to reach $12 billion by 2033. Our competitors are gene editing and exon skipping therapies and CRISPR. They're doing a somewhat adequate job of helping patients today, but there still are no cures for muscular dystrophy, any of them. There's 30 different types. It's a very complex disease. And there's more than 10,000 genetic mutations. So if you look at the number of mutations, how early CRISPR and gene editing is, and how many years to decades it's going to take to optimize, there's a need for a molecule like ours. And importantly, the current therapies only address skeletal muscle. But there's also two other types of muscle that need to be upregulated or taken care of. That would be smooth muscle in our gut and cardiac muscle. And as I mentioned earlier, most of these patients will pass away from either cardiac failure or respiratory failure. And I have some personal experience with this. My sister, her family lives with muscular dystrophy. And when I started this company a couple of years ago, my hope was that I'd be able to deliver a drug that would help my brother-in-law and my niece. Unfortunately, my niece, Chloe Nickel-Craig, passed away on February 20th, and I wasn't able to help her. But that being said, she is my guiding light and my star, and the reason why I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to make this happen. We have a clear path to regulatory approval. With funding today, we'll file an investigational new drug application by the end of the year, which would get us into the market in 2027. We're leveraging FDA's programs of breakthrough therapy, accelerated approval, pediatric voucher, which will allow us to do a biomarker study. And considering that this is a 3-year timeline and the average drug takes a decade to develop, we're accelerating and going much faster than most companies. We have a robust IP portfolio with 75 different filings, all supported by the University of Nevada, Reno. I have an exclusive license for all these compounds and future compounds out of the Dean Brooklyn lab. And as you can see, we have more IP filings than any other pharmaceutical company worldwide or any other university. We've got traction and momentum. NIH, for the second year in a row, has identified sarcomatrix as one of the top 30 up-and-coming biotech companies. And they actually sponsor me to go to conferences like this, although I get this one. But I did speak at Bio International with 2 different podium presentations for the last 2 years. I've talked to many different pharmaceutical companies about collaboration, and I'm also well connected with the muscular dystrophy advocacy community. We have a go-to-market strategy in place. If you look at the biotech and the pharma market today, phase 2 is completing phase 2 studies into a very important inflection point. And we need to get there by funding our IND-enabling studies right now. Myself, I've worked in the industry for 37 years, exclusively at startups. And I've helped founders like George Rathman and Amgen, Bill Liz at Portola, and John Martin and Mike Reardon at Gilead build and grow their companies. I was at each of these companies when they were about 100 people. After 5 years building up their infrastructure and leading their first product to market, I leave the company. And I think by now I've learned enough that I should step up and do it on my own. We have some of the best scientists in the world on our scientific advisory board, and I've put together a business advisory team that includes CEOs, CFOs, experts in manufacturing, experts in regulatory filings and clinical development. Our ask today, we're in the middle of the 5 million seed round right now, of which I have 1 million soft serve. We have support from governmental embargoes here in Nevada, is Battleborn Venture Fund. They've committed to match funds in pre-seed, seed, Series A, and Series B rounds. My objective is to not only build a great biotech company, but to build it here in Northern Nevada so that we can use that as the kernel of a biotech programs so that we can recruit California companies and other companies for individual and corporate tax purposes. We have a regular CF filing in place right now, a minimum investment of $500. We're on the Start Engine platform. I did that just to aggregate friends and family into one line item on the cap table. And we have a series right in process right now also. So we have the technology. It's unique and we're modifying the body's natural system. It's highly differentiated and we've got the experience and the passion to deliver results. So the investments are believers in joining us in this transformative journey. Thank you.
It's hard to evaluate the business proposition without sort of being able to dive into the hood about how efficacious the drug is, right?
Yes.
Kind of taking your word that the drug really is effective.
Well, so the $2 million we have from NIH right now will fund 2 large animal studies. The Duchenne muscular dystrophy dog model is very predictive of what happens in humans. We're at Texas A&M right now, 14 weeks into a 32-week study. Creatine kinase is a biomarker for muscle damage. It's decreased from 100,000 down to 1,000, which is normal in these dogs. Their liver enzymes have normalized. Their 6-minute walk test has doubled. And they also get this enlarged tongue, which has gone down. In the future, what I'll have for you is a video showing pre and post, but I can tell you that that dog is walking down the hallway, it looks like it's got a long gait, it's riding its tail.
What's your burn rate? How long will the 5 million last? And the other question is, we hear ambitious projections for how quickly drugs can come to market over time. And our bureaucracy is notorious at throwing additional years onto it. How confident are you that your timeline is plausible and why?
So my friend Chris Mirabedian started Strop. I've analyzed all his last 4 submissions. On average, they file their drugs from where we're at right now into the market with approval in 4 years. Where we can do it better than that because the biomarkers in the accelerated approval program are proven. We're following their lead in optimizing our clinical studies based on what we've learned from their clinical studies. And most importantly, there's new motion monitoring systems where these kids wear ankle bracelets, and then there's a validated video monitoring system where they go through a series of exercises and it's tested in a blinded way. So those 2 endpoints plus the North Star scale, which is Stanford, I feel very confident we'll be able to get the drug approved. Now that being said, this is not your typical Spot, which is a fabulous company investment. This is a hard tech investment. It's high risk and very high reward downstream. And I've been fortunate to participate in a few of those that have very high rewards. So, did that answer your question?
It did. If you participated in several that have had high rewards,
I have been. The company has only 4 individuals, 3 professors that were supposed to be helping me. And I've been doing all the work. So our burn rate is $7,000 a month. I haven't taken a salary for 2 years, and I have twins that are going to college University of Washington, and a daughter at UC Santa Barbara. And I'm getting a lot of heat from my wife to raise some money.
David, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So our last speaker today is John Foster, who is middle school. Remember again, the dates are not in order, the order was randomly chosen, so. The order in which the prizes are awarded will be determined by the judges score, which will announce tomorrow on the stage. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Thank you for coming. See if I can get this thing working. All right. Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm John Foster, President and founder of the school in John, I'm sorry, Judges are still kitchen here. You guys are good? Okay. It's all good. We're not very- no problem. Okay, thank you. So I'm John Foster, President of Middle School MBA, and really excited to be here. Thank you, Paul, for putting this together. I so appreciate it. I'd like to tell you guys our story. So way back in the day, I left school with an engineering degree and an MBA and went to work in industry. And I built and operated plants, ran businesses, and did corporate strategy and M&A around the world. Along the way, I volunteered with Junior Achievement. So I was teaching kids in schools. And since I can't seem to leave well enough alone, I was constantly tweaking and adding until one day I had my own program. And it was really remarkable. We were teaching kids things that nobody had ever taught this young. Sixth graders and fifth graders who could tell you about the business cycle or discuss capital theory or the nuances between the subjective and negative theories of value. Or a mom who says, how is it that my daughter knows more about our business than I do? So I knew we had something special. And one day as I was walking to class, I said to myself, why am I teaching 14 kids? I should teach 14,000. And that's when middle school MBA was born. So just as a little extra magic, we found that with the tools and methods we developed, we could hand those off to any teacher and they could do the same thing. So now we're 100% scalable. We've got the fastest, deepest, best business and economics curriculum, and it's 100% scalable. We can drop into any school, anywhere in the world overnight. And that's important because the world is ruled by economic ignorance. People before profits, raise the minimum wage, and my personal favorite, war is good for the economy. The way that happens is our system is a conveyor belt that brings kids in ignorant and sends them out misguided. And from there, they go straight to the ballot box with predictable results. You know, Ronald Reagan famously said, it's not that they're ignorant, it's that so much of what they know isn't so. That's true. This is the way that happens. And it wasn't lost on Paul Samuelson, who was Keynes' greatest apologist. He said, I don't care who writes the laws, as long as I write the textbooks. And this is the problem. As a group here, we've spent enormous sums trying to rescue these kids that come off the conveyor belt. And we get what? Maybe 1 out of 100. 1 for us, 99 for them. That's a losing game. We've been losing for a long time. Unfortunately, we have a solution. We call it the middle school EA inoculation. We teach rigorous free markets to middle school kids years before they ever meet a Keynesian. And what do our kids take away? One, business is cool, because business is cool. If you don't think business is cool, you don't understand business. Secondly, economics is powerful. It's how we apprehend the world and engage with it. And third, life is up for grabs. You gotta go get it. And our teachers are known as the coolest teacher on campus. Everybody is punching above their weight, and they all know it. That's the reason we have a retention rate above 95%. We're harder to get rid of than focus. So how does this all work? Well, our curriculum streams into the classroom and gets projected on the wall. And then the teacher in the classroom uses our tools and methods to conduct very cool, very realistic activities with their kids. They're negotiating to find prices, they're making products and P&Ls, and they're pitching companies. And all this is integrated with rigorous economics. So when they negotiate and find a price, they can go back and see how that drives the P&L, and drives the behavior of the business. They can see how that price is a signal plugged back into the economy. So our kids understand that prices are signals and profits are a badge of honor, and that ethics are an indispensable personal asset. This girl is pitching a company to her classmates. That's our software in the background behind her. Here's a go. We give them the outline of the pitch, the 5-year P&L, little information about the product, the competition, the team. They build a pitch and deliver it to their class. And they're delivering it to their classmates who are going to decide whether or not to invest more money in this thing. Probably you've all seen entrepreneurship programs where kids pitch to a group of adult judges. And when they're done, the judges politely clap and say, good job. That's not what happens when you pitch to your classmates. Wait, how did your revenue go up this much, but your costs only went up that much? It's very intense, very realistic. This kid is bragging about his unit cost in comparison to his sales price. Here we have business cards that kids have made. We ask them to think about what they want to do in life and make a business card. And then they introduce themselves to each other and build their own CRM. This kid says she was going to be an astronaut. Today she has her own Wikipedia page. And you may have seen lately, there's been a meme going around Facebook where she is juxtaposed with Caitlyn Jenner's daughter wearing almost nothing. And the meme is about what values are we teaching our kids. We're teaching kids the right values. And Alyssa was our student long before she was an internet. These kids are at a coffee shop on a field trip, but we don't call it a field trip. We call it due diligence, because they come as investors who are interested in buying the business, and they're asking the owner, so how do you get these beans up here from Colombia before they spoil? And how do you manage your inventory so they don't rot before you grind them? This kid is making sure that the roaster is working properly. This is our proprietary 3D model, which helps us explain things to kids super fast. We've taken Hayek's triangle and converted them into something easy to understand. Here you have labor, land, capital, and entrepreneurship, but in a